Bronny James. Should Bronny enter the draft? Should he enter the draft? I mean, his season this year is not that bad. I mean, I think he still needs to improve his skill set at the collegiate level. So much more to work on, I believe, with him. But do you think he should enter the draft? Do you think Bronny James should enter the draft, bro?
What draft are you talking about?
The NBA draft, because he's in both for the transfer portal and the NBA draft.
You mean for the military, or are you talking about like professional sports? Because to me, kind of like Air Force, National Guard, something like that. That's what draft you talking about. Because I know you're not talking about that 3-letter acronym that's short that stands for National Basketball Association. I know you're not talking about that draft. I know you're not talking about the draft that his father ended up being the first pick in the first round. You're not talking about that draft, are you? You can't.
Yes, I am.
No,
yes,
not.
I am.
No,
I'm
not.
dead. Yeah, bro. I'm talking about that one.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Ice Cube, if you ever hear this, if you want to give somebody some money, there you go.
Bronny James.
I think Bronny could do some work on some 45, 50-year-olds. Don't you think? In a half court set, don't you think Bronny could? He can give some work to them guys.
Yeah, I think Bronny could. Yeah,
but you're not talking about the NBA. You can't be. You can't be.
Man,
do they have a draft in the European League? Draft over there?
Yeah, I mean they draft, man. They draft all the time, man. Look, they draft. I feel a draft right now coming in from the bottom of my door. I might need to call. I might need. Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, we got to call Bossy to get this draft fixed underneath the door to draft that Bronny James is trying to fit through.
Think about that. James and Sanders HVAC services. Don't you think about that? You just walk in the door, there's no Bossy and Bronny at the door, and you ask him. You got James and listen. Oh, we can go Sanders and James. You're tripping about that. Or you could just call it S&J HVAC services. You know what I'm saying?
Woo! Hold up! Oh, a piece of wood, and that's a driftwood. That's not draft. Okay, that's a drift. Okay, drift and draft is different, but drift and the drift piece of wood on. Okay, all right. Well, just trying to figure this out. All right, that's this motherfucker.
I'm just saying though. No. But seriously though, to answer the question, seriously, should he get in the draft? Why not? I mean, I was listening to. I think it was, I don't know if it was Gil's Arena or it was another, or may have been Paul Pierce and KG. And they were sitting down, they were discussing, and they said, bro, aside from like the first pick in the draft, like we don't know who's getting drafted. Like we don't know any of these players. So it's like, yeah, you can get drafted. You can play for the Lakers or whatever your father wants you to do. But I mean, it don't make any sense to me, man.
He needs to have one dominant, one decent year in college basketball, then move on to the NBA. I mean, we know that his father can get him in there. These last two dads we just talked about could do pretty much anything and get their kids pretty much anything. LeBron James has enough pull with the Los Angeles Lakers within the NBA period to get his son a draft pick at any team. It doesn't matter. At any team, LeBron could do that, right? But I think he, on trying to be serious here, working on his skill set. You're working on a couple more things in order to go to the NBA. Do I think he could ball in the NBA? Well, yeah, I think he could. I mean, he grew up, around a lot of stars. He has NBA trainers training him during the off season, working on his craft. But like, I really want to see I don't want to see Bronny on the same team as LeBron. I want to see Bronny bust his dad's ass. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Bronny give LeBron that work. That's what
You
I
know,
want to see. I don't want
you
to see
know,
him on the same team as his dad.
Bronny can't beat LeBron in basketball.
Oh, Bronny, I don't know. But Bronny could shoot. I think Bronny could shoot better than LeBron. What you think? I think he could shoot better.
He's not gonna beat LeBron.
Yeah, he will. He'll beat LeBron any day of the week, bro. Any day of the week, Bronny got him, bro.
Hey, you gotta
Bronny
stop
got
this,
him.
man. We gotta
Bronny got him.
listen.
Bronny will cross him up. Bronny will take him on the. He got
Hey,
his triple threading, quadruple threading. You know what I'm
hey,
saying? Give him that old hot sauce routine.
hey, but seriously though, if we're talking about this, he probably would be play his game probably would be similar to his father, not the
Mm-hmm.
driving aspect, but maybe from the mental IQ aspect of it, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of being able to orchestrate an offense like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you gotta think about this, man. You got so much pressure on you. Your father is arguably, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna get in an argument. Arguably the greatest basketball player ever. So while being or relegating yourself to just being like a point guard that averages 12 or 14 points a game, nine, maybe 8.5 assists, 1.2 steals, 4 rebounds. I mean, that's a all-star kind of,
Brian
second team
saying,
reserve, you know, but that wouldn't be the career path that people would look at and say, "Oh, well, he did something." But
right.
that's a solid career. But
It is.
he's not going to be allowed to have that career.
I like that comment that we got pulled up right there. Do the Bronny going overseas? I think that's a good. I like that option, Brian. Brian saying, "Yeah, I'll give you a round. Give you a hand for that." Because I like that. I like that idea. I like that idea. Him go overseas and play overseas. Just how Luca and finish off his so-called college career overseas. He got what 3 more years. Go overseas, get 2 years over there with them boys and ball up, man. Ball up.
Man,
Shout out the South Coast Kane. Purdue is up halftime 35, NC State 29. Oh man. I got you know what? I wonder how this. I'm gonna have to look at the live stats, man. But I'm gonna get into that game here in a second here. But with all seriousness, I think that'll do Bronny some good going overseas and playing with them guys, man. I honestly do think that work. It works for a lot of other people, and I think that'll work for him. Going overseas and getting that work with those guys over there. I don't know what they do overseas to breed basketball players at the highest level, but they do a damn good job. And I like what they do because every product they send over here giving us that work. And I would like to see Bronny James go over there and get some of that work. Really though. You don't think what I see you shaking your head. No, like I see you going like this. You giving me the
no,
bobblehead. Like you
no,
give
no, no,
me
no. I'm not saying he can't go over there, but can we just let's be honest for a second. He,
okay.
he's not that good in basketball.
You don't think Bronny James is
Bro,
decent enough?
that was controversy surrounding his McDonald's All-American selection. I forgot who the other young man was,
Mm-hmm.
but they said he should have gotten that spot.
Mm.
So you are a good basketball player, but when we talk about overseas and things like that, is he good enough to be an overseas player? I mean,
I mean,
because again, his ranking coming out of high school, he was ranked a 4-star player, but most people said that was more so based on who your father is. So the question becomes, how good of a basketball player is Bronny James Jr.?
I've seen
Which,
worse go overseas. To answer your question, I've seen worse basketball players go overseas, and
but were they going over there to try to become what Bronny James has to become? Let me ask you that
see,
question.
see, and that's the pressure of his pops. You know what I'm saying on him. But he's his own basketball player. Does he have what Bryce James have? Absolutely not. He don't even Bryce is gonna have his dad's height. His Bryce James is gonna have his dad height. I think that Bronny has to work on a lot, and I think that overseas might be the way to go for him, unless he just stays in college. But why leave college basketball? What's going on in the chat? I see y'all in the chat, Katie and
Might as
LMV up in here.
well-
What's going on?
He might as well stay. See, this is the thing. He shouldn't have gone to USC, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should have gone somewhere like Villanova.
Yeah.
Or, one of those schools where we're not necessarily getting the big name guys,
Mm-hmm.
but we're gonna get you the fundamentals of the game.
And we're
Like you
gonna
look at
develop.
like we're looking at Purdue
Mm-hmm.
and NC State play right now, right? Fundamentals. We're gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get you the fundamentals of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't go to USC looking to get the fundamentals. You go to USC in the mindset, oh, I'm just one and done, right? Now, obviously, I haven't followed the collegiate game much, but I remember when OJ Mayo went to USC, it was a very big deal. OJ Mayo, at one point in time,
Mm-hmm.
was considered the best basketball player coming out of high school.
Right.
OJ Mayo did not go to Villanova. OJ Mayo did not go to a Louisville or one of those schools like that where it's like we're going to be very team oriented. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
big I little U situation. We're going to play good hard nose press defense or whatever, and we're going to push the ball and get open. No, so it's just a mismatch right now. If you want to transfer Bronny, go for it, but go somewhere. But then it gets to the point where it's like kind of what you just said. You have the best of the best helping you learn the game. And if you're not picking that up, maybe it could be maybe if you go somewhere else and they kind of teach you a different way, maybe you
Yeah.
pick it up, or you just don't have it. I mean, listen, again, trucking. There is a shortage of electricians,
Come on,
HVAC
man.
specialists,
The
plumbers,
pressure on him is real, man. That ain't
plumbers.
fair. That ain't
But
fair
you
to
know what?
that ain't fair to Bronny, man. That
I'm gonna
ain't
say
fair to
I'm,
Bronny, man.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get off of it. The approach that Carmelo Anthony's taking and the approach that Gilbert Arenas is taking with their sons, that's the correct approach. Because the mindset is if you got it, we're gonna go for it. If you don't have it, we're gonna keep working on it. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what Carmelo said. Like, you're not going to the league just because you can if you're not ready to go. And Gilbert
Yeah.
Arenas essentially with his son doing the same exact thing, right? So, but obviously Gil and Carmelo are not, you're not LeBron James, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But
Hey,
it's just that approach.
but Melo was that dude. Melo should have got Rookie of the Year, man. If his name was LeBron James, he probably would have got it, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Melo's
yeah,
that guy. But
yeah.
we know Melo is that dude, and I agree with that wholeheartedly with that same approach that that's why I say he needs to stay. Just stay, or and overseas playing ain't bad. That's not a bad choice, but stay, transfer, work on your fundamentals, like you said. Go
Go,
to
go,
the
go.
and let's see what happens, man. But I mean, because we know he can get into the league. All LeBron like gotta say, and I seen it in the chat, but all he gotta say really is just straight up. If you draft my son, you're getting me. If you don't draft my son, you ain't getting me. Period. I'm gone. If you ain't gonna draft my son, I'm out of here. I mean, and that's just what it is. Like, really. I mean, if we just gonna sum it up and put it simply, that's just what it is. I mean, that's like you draft my son, you get me. If you ain't gonna deal with my son, I ain't dealing with you, man. But yeah, man, and that's just how that works, man. And but yeah, so should he enter the draft? So your answer to that is no. And then
No.
no, okay, no, he should not enter the draft. I agree with that. No,
Because,
no
because
LeBron.
again, money is not the factor, and that kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week when we were talking about you know, Shador in terms of maybe the supplemental draft. If you don't want to go
Hmm.
to a team, just subject yourself there. You don't need money. What you need
Hmm.
right now is you need a little bit more development. Whatever the health scare that you had, you know, make sure that's ready to go. And then just looking at your frame, you're not a big guy.
Hmm.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a big guy these days because
But
so
they got him listed at 6'4". I think he's a true 6'3", though. I think he's a true
I'm just
6'3".
I'm talking about weight. Like you're not like 215, 220. Like you're not like a somewhat of
Yeah,
a bull. You know what I mean?
gotcha.
So your body is not mature. And like I said, and again, I know LeBron been posting you up your whole life, but
I get it, bro. I get it.
yeah,
Just to answer the question,
spot wreck.
no.
And then I'm gonna say this. Think about this, bro. You know how dudes in the league, if they see you come out there, they gonna want to bust his ass because they couldn't bust your daddy ass.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I get it. I get that. I get that. So
They
he
gonna
better
run
be ready.
ISO on you.
So he better be ready. He better be ready to go in the league. That's a good point. Great point.
Bro,
He better be ready to go. And he's just
they
not. He's
call
just
it
not.
clear out when Bronny step out. Hey,
He
no,
ain't ready, man.
I
He
don't
ain't
even
ready
need
for
a
that smoke,
screen.
man. He
I
ain't
don't
ready
even
for that
need a
smoke.
screen.
He ain't ready for that smoke. He ain't ready for that, man. He just not. His skills, he's just not there, man. And they just have to do that, man. Going out, I see some very good comments, man. I want to give y'all a quick shout out on the screen. You know what I'm saying? The league will chew him up and spit him out if you ain't got it to the NBA. Got you, Brian. Got you. Katie, we said it. South Coast said it may be the ego factor. Get it? Yeah, could be that. Could. Katie, and Kobe was building his daughter up brick by brick, giving her that Mamba mentality and the work ethic. She also had the work ethic. It's Bronny and LeBron when it handed to him. Yeah, yeah, yo, yeah. And that's the approach that Shay was talking about. Melo and Gilbert Arenas taking that different approach with their sons. Like they ain't ready to go to the league. Y'all need to develop. And the same thing Bronny does, man. I think LeBron deep down know, but he's saying, look, I ain't got that much time left. Like, you may not be able to play with your son.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying? Let him develop,
listen,
man.
what do you, are you getting some type of lifetime achievement award or something? Like, I mean, is that like the stat that you want that you play with your son in the league?
It'd
Like,
be awesome.
what
I
is
guess
the
it'd
end
be
game?
awesome. But nah, he putting too much pressure on his son, man. I think he got too much pressure on the son, and then the media is also doing that too. Like the media is putting extra pressure upon him. They're out there telling Bronny, like, I think Bronny's ready. Look at this set. When he's in this set, the triangle, it goes to the square. He hits the corner. He pops the three. He passes the ball to Isaiah Collier. Look at this pass to Boogie Collins. He gets the Boogie Collins over here. When he's in transition, you know what I'm saying? Like they bigging him up in the media and they pumping his head and making him think he ready. Like I said, he's been working with NBA trainers since high school. The kid got his bunnies, you know what I'm saying? They worked on his jumps, his bunnies, and everything. Keep on developing Bronny James. Do not let Bronny James go to the league right now. Keep him in college. He needs 4 years of college. He is not Bryce James. Bryce James right now, correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong, ladies and
Kobe.
gentlemen, he is a sophomore in high school. He's 6'7", 6'8". He got his dad's height. He is LeBron reincarnated. Period. Point blank. His younger brother Bryce is like already 6'7", 6'8", and he's a sophomore in high school. And he can ball his ass off. He got the jumper that LeBron didn't have. Let's say that.
Does Bronny have a COVID year? You talking about 4? Bronny about 5. Does he have a COVID year you can use?
Take 6. Shit, people getting 6 years. They getting 6 years, kids, marriages, shit, they getting AARP cards and all kinds of shit. Take all of them years that you can get, Bronny. You know what I'm saying? And take your time, man, and work it out, man. Stop letting the media people get his head too big up out there, man. That's it. We all want to see I'm sure I want to see him succeed. I'm sure a lot of other people want him to see him succeed out there. And we also, just to make this clear, everybody out here, we all say that he should not enter the draft, right? No. That's the answer. No. All right.